All right.
Perfect. We're live. Hi, chat. We're playing Bigfoot again. Except this time we're gonna try and actually get evidence. Except Kerm's never played this game before, so we have one slightly experienced person, and we have Kerm who's about to be baptism by fire, basically.
I'm looking to be mauled to death.
I mean, that's gonna happen. So I got a skin for Bigfoot.
Okay.
For the shits and giggles. And I got a gun skin as well. Just for the hell of it. Alright, you ready? I'm just gonna I'm gonna put the loot amount up since this is your first rodeo.
Sure enough.
I think I have like the music like completely turned off, so it's like dead quiet. So essentially we're gonna be taking pictures of like footprints and scratches on the trees and dead bodies and Bigfoot himself. That is how you get an evidence win. Now we can also kill Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's the part of the game I know.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
So you'll want a tablet. That's how we view the cameras. And then we'll pick up a bunch of stuff in here. I'll take the rifle. If you want to take the handgun.
In the RV.
Yeah, there's stuff in the shelves and cabinets. We can give each other, like, ammo and items and stuff. So don't worry about picking up, like, ammo that's for my rifle. We can just trade it to each other.
Where's the handgun?
It's right behind this ivy plant.
Oh, in that. Yeah, it's camouflaged. There we go.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
First aid kit, probably.
Pick up these cameras underneath the desk there.
Yep.
Okay. I'll pick up the traps.
I think I picked up one of them before.
That's fine.
Don't know how.
We can check all of these. You got your tablet. Yeah, cool. Some of these canisters you can like check and open. Just making sure there's not anything. Ooh, ammo. Cool.
Found Jen.
Okay. Found what?
No, the generator. Just a little fast mode joke.
Okay, so now we have. There's gonna be day-night cycles, and we're gonna want to move around and set up like traps and look for evidence. The map is huge, so what I've found is honestly following the paths has a lot of the evidence on it.
Yeah.
Let me switch my mouse out because I just realized I have the wrong mouse on. Okay, there we go. So if you need to bring up the item wheel as well, if you can't remember a hotkey, Q is the button.
Yes, there we go.
So we're just gonna follow the paths, and we're gonna just try and search around for evidence. He can come in at any point. If we do end up having to kill him, it's okay. It'll be fine.
Yes, it's legally sanctioned self-defense.
Exactly. How you feeling about it?
Killing the guy? Great.
Feeling in general, how's...
Oh yeah, everything else is okay as well.
Okay, good. You're not, like... We'll go up this path, I think. sometimes trees will fall down as well. I should stress, so don't panic. Hey everyone.
Are you carrying pistol ammo?
I might be, yeah.
Okay, because I'm not.
What ammo is it?
Does it say? If I hover over it, maybe.
Oh, it does actually say what ammo is what. You're 9mm, I think.
Yes, yeah. The handgun should be 9.
I gave you all of my 9mm.
Thank you. Right, thank you. I will use it wisely.
Thank you. There are also wolves that can attack us, I should stress. What the fuck is that?
Just a teak tree creaking.
We're gonna head up this way. So there's a little hunter's thing. Nice. There's a moose somewhere. Ooh, fuel canister. That's good.
Cleaver.
Let's see what's up here. Nothing of note. A moose. Oh, a rifle.
Oh, there's a rifle.
That's for you. Take it. Take the ammo as well. Now you have a rifle as well. That's a main gun.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Perfect. That's good. Look at that normal rifle. Can you see the skin on mine?
Oh shit, yeah.
Yay! I got the bloody skin.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I learned this with Petrock, but if you come up to these zip lines and press spacebar...
Yes.
We can actually travel via the,
Lovely.
Yeah, I know. So now we're on the path again, and we're gonna go this way. We can go up the zip lines as well. It doesn't make sense, but we can do that as well.
We're just that good.
We're just that good. Okay, get on this barrier. We're on the main road now. Alright, so which way you want to go? You want to go north or south?
Where's the compass? No, oh, there's none. Just a map. Okay, we can go north. There's some light up there.
Yeah, that's a sign.
Oh, yeah, that is just a sign.
We can the map is huge, so like we have a lot of places we can go. We can what we can do is set up like a camera near here. Or like a location of interest. We can...
That's a bear.
Oh my god, that is indeed a bear.
Do we walk away or do we kill it?
Free me. How is it alive? Oh, there we go. Free meat.
E.
Nice. Okay. There are now bones and stuff on the ground. Maybe... I've never actually tried this, but I'm curious. I'm gonna set up a trap on top of these bones. And I'm gonna set up a camera.
Oh, we got the...
No.
Oh! Is that the trap?
Yes! Don't set on the trap!
I found it, guys. Mystery solved. The trap was right there.
Let's get back to the road.
Yeah.
So Bigfoot tends to be very quiet. He's an absolute fucker when he sneaks up on people.
Right. What is the health threshold that I should use my med kit?
Maybe like 80.
So, have lost 80 or be on 80?
Like 80. He can do a lot of damage.
Okay, I'm on 75 now, so I should heal.
Just go ahead and heal, yeah. There's nothing here. It's fantastic. The rain as well is just not doing well on my game settings.
Oh my frame rate does not like rain.
Do you have your settings like turned down slightly?
No.
Turn it down to like high instead of like ultra, because it's automatically like on ultra. The water sounds are so loud.
Jeez, yeah. I gotta turn that down as well.
Oh my god. The beauty of nature.
Cool, there's only 2 audio settings. This is music and game.
Yeah, I know, right? Do we want to keep... Which way do you want to go?
I mean, let's keep going north, I guess.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Oh. Tree.
Yep.
Still tree mishap. Yep.
Yep. Keep a lookout for, like, on the trees and ground, there'll be, like, a little camera symbol. That's the evidence we need. Though I have a feeling this is gonna be a warm-up game. And I mean that in a nice way, just because, like, I've not played in a week.
Mm-hmm.
If we hear a little like camera beep, that means that motion is caught on the camera that we set up back by that trap.
Yeah. By the bear remains.
Yes. I put meat in the trap anyway, just to... Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I've got some meat as well. I killed that deer.
Mm.
Actually, do I? I don't see it in the wheel.
It won't show up in the wheel. It's not something you
Okay.
can just throw out. It's, you basically click on the trap and like hold down and it'll...
Oh, yeah, I just pressed I. There's an inventory as well.
Okay, let's go to the ranger station up here. It's now
That sounds like it'll
daytime.
have stuff.
Yes. Hopefully it's safe with, like, some good shit. The good shit. You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah. Some...
On the road again. Did you ever go camping?
Not like wilderness camping, but like...
Camping.
Well, you like pitch a tent on like like campsites and stuff, like normal
Ooh, okay. So up ahead, you hear the screaming.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
that
a
is
skull.
yeah.
We pick those up, and if we have like 4, we can resurrect a dead teammate. Though if one of us dies, the other one's probably gonna die right after. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I believe that.
We also have to find the place to do that. And I still actually haven't found the ritual circle on this map. I'll be honest with you. Oh.
Oh, that's
Hit
it.
tap.
Oh, he's there. He's walking into the trap. Yeah. But can it take photos, or is it just...
No, it's just to see. He's now angry.
Yeah, he's...
So now we have a health bar at the top of our screen.
Yeah.
That's Bigfoot's health.
Yes, and the gray is what he can regenerate, right?
Yep. That is
Okay.
correct. Welcome to the ranger station.
Well, thank you. Oh, it's a little toilet.
He's
Oh.
on the thing again. I'll let you... Oh, a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take that, since I don't have a pistol. I have so many first aid kits. Holy fuck.
I've got one. I should probably... I'll wait a little bit. If it's like all one thing, do I have to click both doors of the
Yeah, each
Like wardrobe
each
or-
door is a different
Right, okay.
interface. Let me know if you get low on ammo because I've picked up a lot of ammo.
I've got a bunch still.
Okay. I've checked everywhere. I now have a shotgun.
Oh, also with the blood skin. Oh,
Yeah, all my guns have. Oh, that's one of Bigfoot's traps.
yeah.
Get
Get a
out.
shirt.
That now is the time to use that health kit. I'll trade you one.
I've got one.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give you another one since you have to use that.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'll give you two actually.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so shotgun isn't bad. There wasn't like a safe or anything. Damn. Okay, so this isn't the ranger station with a safe where we can get like an M4.
Ooh.
Yeah, right?
A1S or A4?
I can't actually remember. Let's see. Let's go up. I've never done the swamp first. This is actually a good place to put a trap down and a camera. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Watch my
Let's do
back.
Oh, well.
That's a plane flying overhead, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. We lost the other camera. Bigfoot destroyed it.
Oh, that's what the beep was, probably.
Yeah, he ran back at the camera and destroyed it. So he can, like,
Good.
run up on our ass at any time. So if you watch me turning around a lot, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
You just become paranoid.
Already am.
Given that he was at that other camera, we have a basic idea of where he is.
Yeah, he's down south somewhere.
Even in this game, Kerm must suffer. Hey. Ooh, this goes down to a cute little pond.
I don't suffer a lot.
Hey, for all you know, Kerm's gonna be like a legend at this. What the hell? Oh, that's a pig. It's like, what the fuck was that? Ooh. This is interesting. Oh, this is cool. Look at the lake. Nice. Okay.
I assume he can't go on the...
I have no
On the
idea if he can or not. Genuinely. Do we want to go up or down?
It's getting dark.
It doesn't matter. We'll,
Okay.
we,
Oh, he's
we,
not
we
like...
won't get back to... He hunts at all time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
during the daytime as well, so it's...
He's not angry or during the night or anything.
Oh, he's angry all the time.
Okay. That's his secret.
Imagine if Bigfoot was waiting at the bottom. Imagine! What the hell was that?
I have no idea, actually.
There's so much ambient sound that still, like, makes me question things. But there's also a lot of this, like, this is the first map and I still haven't, like, seen a lot of it. I'd be angry too if a couple of people kept trying to trap me. I'm not even trying to trap him or kill him this time. I actively want to...
We want to document that he exists.
Yeah, exactly.
And killed those people.
Nothing in that. Oh, another rifle that we don't need. I'll let you take that ammo.
Thank you.
So nothing else here.
You're running? No?
How far from our previous... Watch my back while I look at the map real quick. This is a pretty far away location.
Why does it sound
I know.
so stumpy? Is that you?
It could be me. There's also animals in the forest.
Oh god, my frame rate is tanking again.
It's the rain and the nighttime.
Yeah.
Try not to like spin too quickly.
Get dizzy from spinning in game.
It helps with like the frame rate thing. I wish we could just turn like the rain particles off or something. Actually, is there a way? Can you watch my back real quick? Let me look.
Yeah.
Graphics. I'm gonna turn motion blur down.
That is something is making an angry sound.
The bear?
Well, either that.
Oh, I turned motion blur down and that seemed to help a lot. You wanna keep following this back path?
Something's close. Might be a bear.
Oh, we found a mine. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put a trap down.
Yeah.
Can we even get up there? Oh, there
I
we
don't
go.
think so. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what I was stuck on.
I'm gonna put a camera in here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn down that motion.
Nothing bad ever happens in mines. Oh god, this keeps going. What the fuck is this? What the hell? This is a maze.
Ah, yes, the motion blur helped a lot.
Which camera was that?
Not this one. Oh, he's in here.
What do you mean?
Right here.
Oh god.
Oh, that's not like that.
He's running away. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck we have found, but I've never seen this place before. Have we found like his little lair? Where did he go?
Out?
Where?
Well, some bones here.
This place is a maze. He had to have gone this way.
Do we want to go where he went?
I want to see where this exits.
How do we get a picture of him?
I need you. I get the picture. I got the picture. Hold on, hold on. Got a flare gun, I got a flare gun. Oh my god. Okay, he's running away. Okay, let's get back to the road. And just keep moving now.
Yep. Get on the road.
I did not know that cave system was a thing. Holy shit. Trying not
he
to
lives
kill him
in
this
there.
time. Shoots on sight and lights on fire. Well, the fire seems to be the only thing that get him away from us. I don't think he lives there either. I think that's just an old cave system. Let's go this path now.
Well, there were like bones and stuff in there.
Yeah. True. But I don't know if that's like... Just making sure you're still with me.
I am.
Okay. Whew! His little druid skin's kind of cool.
Oh, is that?
His little mask and everything. Yeah, that's a skin I put on him. Wait, where are... This is a path. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I saw a mask. I don't think it was just a...
Oh, that might have been a client-side thing then.
Might be.
That's interesting. This is certainly a path. Oh, good.
Back to something.
Zipline.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
did
get
not
off the
take
zip
damage.
line early.
No, I think I accidentally hit space just as it got off and decided taking me up again. But I did not take full damage falling down, so it's fine.
Okay, cool. Not seen any evidence so far. No footprints, no scratches on the trees. That's very curious. Jeez, I keep seeing shadows behind us and I keep thinking it's gonna be him.
Yeah, no, Bigfoot lives in my walls.
Zipline is my favorite addition since early access, to be honest. That or the drone.
Oh, here's something right here.
Oh, yeah.
How do I?
I got it.
Oh,
There's only
yeah.
one camera.
Oh, that's why I
It's really
couldn't
awkward
interact.
to... Yeah, it's really awkward to, like, pick up, like, switch to. Whee! Frame rate is so bad on near
Yeah, I'm
water.
getting something. Oh, it's the water that what does it.
Nice, big
We
campground.
been here before?
No, this is... We just discovered this. Gas
Ah,
bottle, nice.
fun. I assume you can shoot at that.
We can.
I've got a bit of a 5.56 ammo. That's, I think, assault rifle ammunition.
Nice. We want to hold on to that for when we find an assault rifle. Just checking all these coolers. People who went camping out here sure did, like... Ooh, cleaver. Nice. Take that.
I got me one of them as well.
Nice. To the swamp?
To the swamp.
Actually, how far are we from... No, we'll save our cameras. Okay.
So what makes a place for a trap good? Like a crossroads or like a recognizable landmark?
So... Hold on, let me cough. Still getting over the flu. I like to space them out to kind of get an idea of, like, where he is. If you put him all in one location, it's like...
Yeah, get like a ping on the map instead. I'm gonna go into this hut. See what this is all about. It's a toilet.
Oh, there we go. 12 gauge, perfect. What is this? Going to the radio tower. Ooh, a pickaxe, nice. Ooh, you heard that?
That is... Yeah. That sounded slightly... No, inspect, no. Oh.
What the hell
Radio
was that
tower.
sound?
It didn't sound like a bear.
Or it's just something in the water.
Oh, that's over, like, that way. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Oh, is it just bubbles coming up?
Yeah.
Swamp gas.
Just swamp things. Ooh! Oh,
Oh, he's on camera 1.
Oh, lost that trap.
Yeah.
So that is the ranger station, just south.
Right. Well, should we put one down here then? Got one.
We can, yeah. So if you press C. Hey, it's Adrian. Perfect. Let's do it. Going through the swamp. Going through the swamp. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. How, like, there's just this one creature out here and somehow it's a mystery with all the technology that exists.
Well, he's not exactly been shy while we've been here, right?
No, yeah, so like...
Oh, no. Okay, something sounded like a receiver. The sounds were repetitive, but I didn't stop to decode them. Oh, I didn't try to decode them. So, that's just flavor.
So the
Unless it's a hint.
Maybe? Could be? I think the notes sort of lead us to where the bodies might be.
Oh, yeah, the bodies.
And we need to get pictures. Oh!
Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Brilliant.
You have medicine, right?
Yep, I have plenty, but I'm at 70, so... his traps, man! The remote cameras could easily use the same connection streaming to your handheld device to capture digital photos. Right?! Why is there not just a button? I already have a picture of Bigfoot, though. It's the bodies we need.
Yes, and scratch marks?
Scratch marks. So if you press Q, you can see everything that we still need. 3 dead tourists, 4 scratches, and 3 footprints. Will we get them? Time will tell. You're gonna get this skull up here.
Yes.
Tunnel Creek.
Got it.
We've already seen that campground.
Shelter 1?
That's just a small camp. I've never actually been through here.
Okay, let's go through the spookiest thing I've ever seen. Oh!
Fucking Christ, mate!
There's a warning shot.
You scared the fucking shit out of me.
Just gonna put down the gun for a second.
Honestly, fair and valid. The map's so big, though, right? Like...
Is there a... is it M to bring up the whole thing? Yeah. Oh shit, yeah, this is massive.
Yeah! It's also one of the reasons why we want to keep moving.
Yeah. But we can get up there for a second.
Should we?
Maybe there's something up there. We can
No,
just
we've
get
been
down
here.
again. Oh, have we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this... I see.
So we're gonna pass by the campground again. But we're gonna keep going this time. Doop-a-doop-a-doo-doo-doo. I'm not seeing any trees with like the photo symbol on them. Would you ever go hunting for Bigfoot if you had the opportunity? As I asked that question.
You know, I don't think he enjoys being hunted.
But like maybe to find evidence that he exists. Would you do it?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah?
I think there's some state, like Washington or something, where it's like illegal to go hunting for Bigfoot because they don't want people like
Disturbing the wildlife?
No, they don't want people going into the forest and shooting at like vaguely humanoid things.
I mean, that's fair and valid. Okay, so here's the campground. Let's keep going on the path. I'd be curious of his shoe size. Right, Sean? Oh, Sean, do you have this game?
We have put a dent in him though. Like he is not in great health.
I've set him on fire twice, which I think has...
I would hate to be set on fire.
Me too. Being set on fire is not my idea of a good time. If Bigfoot did exist, he doesn't anymore. Bigfoot more like Crispy Foot. Okay, we've found the main road again.
Okay,
Yep.
that's not a bear.
No. We can sort of go... Oh, there was a path, like, right here. On the other side of the river. Do we want to go up?
Yeah.
We can do the loop.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do the loop. Yeah, there's this weird statistic, where it's like the intensity and density, I guess, of Bigfoot sightings is like directly correlated with like black bear population numbers.
That's... Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That tracks.
That's my two Bigfoot facts. Oh. Oh. There's like a quick time event. I saw a
Yeah,
one.
I'm
I don't know
really
if
bad
it's the
with
same
it.
one every time or
It's a different one.
it's like, oh, okay, makes sense. I swear I don't even see them like overhead before they trigger. They just appear.
Settings are also correlated to precipitation maps. Did a sociology paper on Bigfoot once upon a time. Wait, no shit. We found the resort. We can check all these buildings.
Oh, I'm gonna go left.
If you have a camera, I highly recommend putting it down at the entrance.
Like a photo camera?
Yeah, the little video cameras.
Video one. I do. I have two.
Sorry for the
So the
coughing.
entrance, where we came from on the road.
Yeah, on the road. That way, like, if it beeps, we can quickly check in, make sure it's not the one that we're at, because he, like I said, he can sneak
down.
right up.
He's a sneaky fella, that guy.
Is it possible that Bigfoot was just a bear? I mean, probably.
No, buy lilies, lanterns, kites, sweets, ring, Toby's food. I've got some 12 gauge for you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, got a GPS sensor.
Good, we can throw that at him next time we see him. Oh, that one's boarded up.
Got a pipe wrench. I can throw that at him as well.
Cool.
This is really good at dodgeball.
Professor told me paper on anything that affects society. I thought challenge accepted. I love that, genuinely.
I mean, I'm sure there's something like sociologically interesting to say about like cryptids and stuff, like why do people make them up?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, flare gun ammo, good. Continue setting him on fire.
Oh, no, it's that this one. Wait, how do I switch camera?
Scroll.
Scroll. Oh yeah, he's here.
Oh shit.
He's on me. He's in
Okay.
my house, I think. Oh, he's breaking down the window. Shit. Oh, he's in here. Oh, fuck. He's got me. He's slammed me.
Okay, he's run. Whoo! You good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh.
Oh, it's another trap. That's a lantern.
Oh, that's good, actually. We can set that up here. Oh yeah, I've checked all this. Okay.
Got some more 9mm.
He'll probably be back. Still not
Back
trying
all
to
the
kill
way.
him. Yeah, well, we've barely found any evidence.
That cow battery.
I don't know what that does. Maybe it electrocutes him, I think. I think that was our theory last time.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I think I've been through that.
Oh. Did you check the one under the TV as well?
I don't know, maybe. I was interrupted by Bigfoot.
True. Okay.
Wait, which houses have we done?
I think we've done all of them.
There's a maybe it's just another outhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to set up a
Go
trap
in
here?
Yes,
I
let's
think
do
you have
that.
the traps.
I do. I picked up one. Just
Yeah,
now.
I think
Right
you
here,
should
just
destroy
by
it.
the camera.
Yeah, might as well. Maybe like a little bit away from the camera. That way it's
Ooh!
Whoa! Oh god! Oh god, shotgun. Oh god! No shit! Fuck him! Oh, I'm
Okay,
out of
well, I
ammo.
lost the trap.
That's fine.
I should've
It did its job.
Should
Can
put
you,
down the car battery. Patch you up.
Well, I think we need a trap for that, maybe. No, not patch me up.
Oh.
Could you, so if you press E on me, you should be able to trade me the shotgun ammo.
Oh yeah, yes.
Please do that. That's,
I will do that. I've got. Where's it? Yeah. Give all.
thank you. 6, perfect, amazing.
Well, it ain't much.
But it's honest.
honest work.
Yep.
I looted it honestly.
Okay. So he's definitely on our ass.
He seems to be, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
We've not
obsessed.
found any evidence.
No, he's hiding the bodies.
It's probably all down at the southern part. That's my guess. Do we want to just follow all the way south?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do that.
All the clues were about like radio stuff. Is there a radio tower somewhere?
Probably, but we've maybe not found it. There is an end to this road up here. We can quickly take a look and see what's up.
Yeah.
All the roads tend to lead places.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
Yeah. they tend to, help you get to certain areas.
Just follow roads and I keep ending up in Rome. It's so annoying.
Right? Oh, more shotgun ammo.
Lovely.
Okay. Back up we go. On the road again. Don't you just hate it when you end up in Rome? Just trying to go to like your mother's house or something and you end up in Rome.
It's that autopilot thing where you forget what you're doing when you're, when you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly you're just in Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I should have turned off.
Exactly.
I think that was it. That one was
That
not.
was not. I love how there's a very quick distinction.
You learn very quickly, don't you?
Yes, you do. I really want to get an evidence win. I definitely think we need more than 2 people for this, though. No!
Oh, another one!
And I couldn't do the quick time fast enough. This is insane. Hi, Remy. Hi, baby. Where did he find the time to do all these traps?
He's smart enough to do traps. He should just, like, get into the town and, like, get get a job or something.
Yeah, fucking get a job, loser. Go get bitches or something. Like,
Yeah, stop running around in the forest trying to kill things, you idiot.
he'd fit in with the Southern Republicans of America. Just get him on Tinder and give him some fish to pose with. He'll fit right in. Start doing jobs on Fiverr. Bigfoot does your quick jobs.
You need traps built? Or me to stand on something?
He could have a show on A&E about hiding from Bigfoot hunters. That is such a good show idea. A show that's about like Bigfoot hiding from hunters and like day in the life. Like it centers around the hunters, but the hunters are like goofy and incompetent as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's back towards where we started, so we keep going. Sell Bigfoot feet pics on OF. We'll feature in your documentary to keep the conspiracy alive. Fuck. So up ahead was the falls. We're gonna just keep pushing through. This is where we killed stuff.
Oh, there's a wolf?
Oh, that will attack us. Just maybe Mousie. Nope. Would you like to do the honors?
By shotgun.
Shotgun to the face, we'll do that, yeah. Don't you hate it when you take a shotgun to the face?
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
Especially when you, like, have something to do later that day.
Mm-hmm. Messes up your makeup.
It would.
Okay, we have a station up ahead.
Yep, have we done these?
Nope, this is a new one. Devil's Creek Ranger Station. Please be the one with the safe.
That's an outhouse again.
Yes, it's one of the ones with the safe. Okay,
I've got a fuel canister. That seems useful.
yeah, I have one of those as well. There's gotta be a code somewhere.
I've got a flag gun bullet. I can get you that.
Yeah, ideally we want to get your own flare gun. There's gotta be a code somewhere. Either here or near the station.
Code.
There'll be a little slip of paper and there'll be numbers on it. This is either gonna be dynamite or it's not gonna be a gun. The gun safes are a lot bigger, so this is probably dynamite.
I feel like you could like chain together a couple things and detonate it remotely.
Oh
with
yes,
dynamite.
you can. That's
Like
what me and Petrock did.
The fuel canisters and the half battery.
Oh yes. This is lovely. This is beautiful.
Oh, why don't people come out here all the time?
Right? This is like...
Locals are friendly.
You're so right. Okay, well we know that there's a safe here. If we find a code near here,
Yes.
we'll... It has to do with that.
It'll be on a like a slip of paper or something.
Yeah, and the numbers will just be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrating that it's not like in there. I'm not sure if it'd make me look more handsome or not. Oh no. Not even a single scratch mark on any trees. This is so weird.
Yeah, stop scratching trees, you weirdo.
Stop doing your jobs on Fiverr. Go scratch some trees. Or maybe we have to pay him for that.
Yeah, maybe.
This whole time
So,
we've just
like,
been feeding him bullets.
the one footprint he made was like the teaser, and we're gonna have to pay to get more footprints.
Channel my inner Phasmo. Give me a sign. Oh, there's a body.
Oh.
You can actually look at what's on our phone, funnily enough. It worked! Yeah, no shit! At 6 near waterfall. I found the codes. 9627.
Lovely. It's just I'm just gonna go check in here, and then we can head back.
9627, I think I remember. That's not terrifying at all. Oh, flare gun for you, with some bullets.
Lovely.
Ooh, fireworks as well.
Fun.
And a fire stick for you.
Signal flare, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a melee, like, to sort of, like, fear him off,
like,
you know?
yeah.
You
Oh,
check
and
all
the flag
these.
on that. There it is.
Yeah, there it is, yeah.
Is that number 4? No, 5.
So
We
there's
have
no safe here, which means that that code definitely was for the... Okay. So just refresh. 9627. Do you want to go back and get that now, or...?
Yes. Did you
Wow,
write it down?
9627.
9627. Okay.
Now, because we're backtracking, we might run into him.
We are armed to the teeth, and he's not. So
I mean, he does hit pretty hard.
he does. Oh.
Fucking hell! If that doesn't attract him, I don't know what will.
I don't know. I don't think a lightning strike is like a sign that we're close.
No. He could be attracted to sound. Dynamite. Dynamite, baby, with the remote and everything.
Well. Look who's lucky we're not trying to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do it.
We'll probably do it, yeah. Sometimes trees just explode like that. Nature is wonderful. Sure. I got, like, a piece of chip stuck in my lip gloss. That's really aggravating.
Like sealed under it?
No, like, so lip gloss is obviously, like, sticky and whatnot. And I was eating cassava chips earlier.
Oh, that's the same lady.
Yeah. So now we follow along the path. Oh, totem for you up ahead, probably.
Another one?
Yeah, you need 4 to resurrect.
Right.
This dude has literally left, like, no crumbs. Meanwhile, my cassava chips left all the crumbs on my lip gloss. Amazing. Love that. It's a lovely stroll, don't you think?
It is.
A moose. As you do. Slightly terrifying, but let's go somewhere.
Yeah, let's check it out.
It's unmarked, but
Well, all the best things are. Vans.
I'm making donuts right now. Ooh, nice. What kind of donuts, Sean? This is important. This is just leading us up to the river, I think. Although we could go up here.
Let's check it out.
Ooh, a nice little bridge. Moose versus mouse. Ooh, hello.
Moose and men.
Of moose and men. Devil's Creek Ranger Station.
I thought we've been here before then.
No, we were probably somewhere else. There's another knife. So many first aid kits. Holy shit. More meat.
Blair John.
I'm gonna close the door.
Big eggs.
Nice. Let me know if you need any ammo, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a picture outside.
Yeah, also there's a car battery here. I can't take it. Maybe because I already have one.
Yeah, because you already have one. We could, viably, if we had a trap.
Yes, I like where you're going.
Do we have a trap?
Oh, in the formal sense of the word, probably not. Here it is, scratch marks.
Okay, give me a second. That's our first scratch mark, by the way.
Yeah, I
We
don't
could
have a
wait for
trap
him to
per
come
se.
to us then. And we can sort of bottleneck him. So if we put... How can we do this? We can... He's gonna have to kick down the door. We know that much. Should we maybe
How
set it
big
inside?
Yeah.
Right here,
Should we
and
put
we
more
stick
down
back
or
here?
just the one?
Put down the car battery.
Don't have to tell me twice. Do I just...
Put it
How do
near
I-
like the front door. I'm gonna move
Oh,
it.
I can't put it. Yeah, I can't put it on the carpet. It won't let me.
No, it won't let you when it's too close to something else.
I see.
So now we wait
Yeah.
and hope.
Oh, we can take.
Yeah, so we can kind of protect
Curtains down?
ourselves a little bit. Question is he gonna be smart enough to come here?
Well, dumb enough, I guess.
We're not finding a lot of evidence, so I think we're hitting the point where we just start killing him. Try to go for an
Yes.
evidence run next time. I want to win via evidence, though, like...
Yeah, but we keep telling ourselves that next run, that's gonna be the evidence run. This time I mean it.
This time I meet it, I'm so serious. Gonna fill them with rose jam. Ooh. That kind of be fancy. I like it. There's nothing in here that can attract...
No, and the music was copyrighted anyway or something.
Yeah. Definitely don't
Oh,
go
something
outside.
is killing my frame rate again.
I think it's the rain outside. It started raining.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for this, though. This will be great.
Yep, if he comes.
If he comes, yeah. It might take a moment.
Yeah.
It's a good chill out moment. You know what? I'm gonna be risky. Will you be okay? I'm gonna run to the restroom. Good luck.
Okay, oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
How polite. How polite. He knocked at the door and moved on when no one answered. What?
Wait, for real?
No. We would have absolutely heard that.
Okay, do we just pick this stuff up since,
This dude is having a laugh. Where the fuck is he?
do we just pick up the explosives and, move on?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, we need traps. That's a shame. I'm sorry we couldn't live out our explosive dreams.
Might happen still. So, where have we been? We're still trying to make it to the south.
Yeah, let's go this way. Because I think we came from the other... He might be a monster, but he's not a monster.
Wait, we already went to the park entrance, didn't we? Oh, bear. No,
That's
buffalo.
a bison.
Bison.
Bison? Buffalo?
I think they're interchangeable.
I have no idea. Yeah, so if the location is on our map, it means we've been there.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like a big blind zone.
What does this sign say? Double Creek Ranger Station, park entry. So let's just keep going this way and see what we find.
Sounds good. Plane?
Yeah, that was a plane. Oh, you mean like this?
No, like
This path
something.
is unmarked.
Oh, let's do that first.
Not again.
God damn it!
Every time! And I fumble all my keys because I forget which one's which. Oh my god! I think we found Bigfoot's lair.
Another one. Yeah, there might be, like a dead guy in here.
No, this is a big bear cave, okay.
A first aid kit. Oh, some bones.
Some ammo. How is this not evidence, mind you?
It's a shotgun. Pump action.
Yeah, go on. Do you have ammo for it?
No,
Hold on,
but
here.
okay.
That's about half of what I have. Okay.
Thank you.
This looks like his like cave. Like if you die, he is shown eating you at like a little cave that looks like this.
Right.
I don't know if maybe that... I'm almost positive that's like the cave. That's crazy.
Seems reasonable.
Sorry for coughing in your ear, Kerm. I can like mute one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's fine. You're sick.
I feel like
Comes
it's gonna
with the
take
territory.
ages for the cough to go away.
Yeah, it's like all the like really bad symptoms a couple days, and then it's like a slow burn with like a cough or whatever. Like,
Skull up ahead for you?
oh, don't mind if I. That was third.
Can relate. Been stuck with a cough since late December. I'm sorry. That's not normal.
Is that like bronchitis or something?
Yeah, I was supposed to say, homie? It's March. Don't know if you've seen, but it's March.
Again?
Okay, I definitely need to heal this time.
Maybe I should walk up front for a bit.
Isn't it after 4 weeks of persistent cough get help? Yeah, I was about to say. Shouldn't you, like, see a doctor once it's, like, past a month? This is where Alanix discovers that something's really wrong. Not to scare anyone or, you know. Admittedly, yeah, I should probably see a doctor. Okay. Whew. Everyone in the chat going, Monk S.
Yeah, I mean, it can be intimidating having to book a doctor's appointment, but you'd be happy you did.
Yeah.
Move you.
We can't even pick that up.
Nope. Oh, hello. I'll be waiting for you at Colonial Creek with Toby.
Oh, Toby is the dog, so Colonial Creek is maybe where the dog body is.
Is a dog buddy?
Yeah. Colonial Creek. The campground?
They have names.
That's all the way up top. We've been there. Where was the body then? Maybe it's near there?
Oh, the paper is gone? Oh, there it is. Did it say something specific? No, just, yeah, Colonial Creek. Well, we probably went into the building, but didn't, like, investigate.
Around it, yeah, you're right. That's why getting everything on the map, like, uncovered is so valuable. Because, like, these clues are definitely used to figure out, like, where the evidence is. Like, the body evidence, mind you.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's not just, like, random.
Yeah, I get a bit stubborn, too. Not really a fan of doctors. Yeah, it's understandable. Shall we?
Oh, fun.
Radio tower!
Can't believe they put something that unrealistic in the Bigfoot game. God damn it!
How many of these have I stepped in at this point? How many?
Well, I've lost count. 4, 5?
I can't use my health kit right now, unfortunately. Closing the door behind us.
Oh, so, 11.99.
11.99. Oh my god. AVM. It's
AVM?
AVM.
Oh, the rifle.
It's
What kind of ammo does it take?
like it's basically like a op. And there's a trap. Homie, there's a trap. And a first aid kit.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Do you have the right ammo for it?
Yeah, I have. I'm actually maxed out on ammo, so if there's ammo inside of that thing, take it.
Yeah, I did.
We have a trap.
Spicy.
And we can set up
Here.
the explosives.
I mean, should we do it right here?
Yeah, fuck it. If we can see out a window.
Window. There are windows in the building.
Well, let's just set it up right here. Yeah? Cover me.
They're all
yeah?
like boarded up. Where are you?
Cover
Oh,
me.
there. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, now we want to put the...
Car battery.
Yeah, car battery. I'll put a fuel canister. You got it?
Yeah.
Dynamite. Okay, now let's go inside.
Is it?
I have a remote for
Yeah.
it. And now we wait.
Well, like if you think it'll reach all the other things.
We can kind of see it.
Half remember the explosion being a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it was.
It's just if it'll actually take the other things with it.
The car battery should stun it. So we have some waiting, okay?
Yes.
We'll be waiting here a hot moment, I think.
Love the waiting game.
Yeah. But it's fine. It's okay.
Is there a radio?
What do you mean?
I guess that's like a nuke for live streams, so you probably shouldn't.
Ooh, clever.
Yes.
Is this live? LOL. Chat, is this live? Is this live?
We pre-recorded this weeks ago.
Dead? Are we live? Are we live on the internet? Chat? Shoe on head or whatever. Obviously pre-recorded. Pre-recorded automated chat message. Great play! So true, bestie. So true. I'm really excited for this. I know it was underwhelming, but like, once we stun him, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
No,
cough,
it was more like if the explosion will reach like the fuel and the car battery if it's
Yeah, well, if it doesn't, oops. It should though, because in practice, like, there's an area in which it won't let it like put it close to the thing, and it's caught all of that before. So, should stun him. We'll need to get out there with the rifles quickly.
Yeah, just go ham.
Go ham, exactly.
So if we kill him, the game just ends. Oh, that's
yeah.
you.
Sorry, that's me. Yeah, the game just ends, and we win. And then once after this match, you'll have a fairly good like feeling for it, you know, and then we can pick another map and see if we can get all evidence.
Yeah, I feel like I've caught the major aspects of the game.
Will he come get in this trap though? It depends on where he is. He's not passed in front of any of our other cameras, mind you.
Not in a while.
No. Oh, you know what? Something I can do. Cover me. Okay. Come back inside. Close the door behind you. Cover me again. Check this out.
Where do I check?
So, if you look outside...
Oh yeah, the icon, yeah.
I've put the drone light on top of the thing, and it should stun him as well.
Incredible.
Yeah, I forgot about the drone thing. The drone has a little stun on him.
Now we're thinking with drones.
Now we're thinking. Oh, the waiting
thinking with
game.
gas.
The waiting game is what's like the worst part, I think.
The waiting game sucks. I want a Steam refund.
I gifted you this game. Chat,
no, on the
please...
waiting game.
I get it now. I get it now. Chat, please subscribe so that I can recoup the cost of this game.
She supported so much.
You support not only me, but the Yogscast. That's right, chat.
Well, that's like a 2-for-1.
That's a 2-for-1. And if you subscribe, you don't see ads, I think. I'd like to think that Bigfoot is hiding somewhere looking at his own trap setup, just waiting. I would absolutely love that. That or our Bigfoot is, like, stuck somewhere. But I want to see ads. You want to be influenced. Oh, no. Oh, no. Chat, Cygnus. Sean Bean, thank you for 21 months. Thanks for throwing your prime at us. Cygnus doesn't want to be subbed, chat. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it would be such a shame if somebody subbed him. Subbed them.
Hang on a minute. He's using reverse psychology.
Stephanos! Thank you for gifting us up to Cygnus.
Oh.
Oh?
Oh, that's a wolf, I think. Oh, don't. Wolf, don't go in the trap.
Stephanos, thank you so much for 9 subs!
Whoa, holy shit.
Drizal, Sekundan, OMF Cool, OMMF G Cool, Blaze Flame 12, Bubble, Black, Zakarda, Senior Calivara, Beckers, Betty Tear Prime. You've all been gifted a sub by Stephanos. And now you won't see ads. And now you're part of the cult that is the Yogscast.
How will you know what products to buy now?
Yeah. How will you know what products to buy? He's not coming. I'm starting to think we could just sit outside.
Yeah, there's a wolf out there that's gonna...
It's okay. I have an AVM.
Mhm.
I have to walk around an actual store, the horror. You're so right. Where's the wolf?
I don't know, he was making a growling sound earlier.
Me when I'm hungry.
It could have been you, actually.
Is there a dead body somewhere?
Oh, yeah, the someone and a dog went... Oh, there's an axe. Where are we going? Someone and their dog went to the creek.
The creek, right?
Yeah. Then we both ADHD'd.
So he's just not here.
No. Should we leave?
No, because
the
we have no way
trap.
to... We have no way of knowing if he's like near here because we don't have another camera. Sorry, hiccups.
Oh, I think I may have. Oh, that kind of camera, yeah.
Oh shit, you do.
Like further away. I think so. See?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
oh.
Oh my god, yes. We can explore the area a little bit then. I think this is the only way up unless he learns how to zipline. Let me just look around. Oh god, a cough again, sorry.
It's alright.
I'm in the market for a house. Is there a Yog house on the market?
Coming to the Yogscast store. House.
I wish.
Yeah, I think that's a power line, not a...
Yeah, I'm not trying to zipline on it. I'm just trying to look around. I'm starting to think we set up our trap in a location where...
Sort of out of the way.
Yeah, maybe we should set this up somewhere else.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'm like looking at... Don't get me wrong, we've been chased up a hill before in this game. But I get the sense...
But he can't follow you downhill.
He can...
Oh, he does black bears again.
Okay. Let's go this way.
Yes.
Watch him now show up, now that we've, like, undone the trap and everything. The fucker. It would be just like him, too, wouldn't it?
I did hear a yelp.
Could that not have been an owl?
I think a wolf.
Keep your eyes peeled for evidence, homie.
Yes, they are. Every day. Been training for this game.
the Yog house is just a shed. Homie, in this market, I don't think people would mind. Where does this go? Oh, this is fun. was a little hunt. Oh, I found Toby!
No.
Can we have a moment of silence?
Yeah.
He
Incredibly
was-
loud silence.
Yes.
Oh, handgun. Got a handgun.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Thank you. I can't pick up that ammo or that cleaver. He was the goodest of boys. He did not deserve this. And this is why Bigfoot must die.
Oh. Bit of
Chat, if you were
shotgun
wondering why we hunt Bigfoot, this is why.
Do it for him.
Do it for him. Toby deserved better.
Lovely little bridge.
It's so cute, isn't it? It's just a neat little path. What the fuck?
Huh?
Huh?
Is there a Minotaur in there?
Once again, I've never seen... these maps are fucking massive. It's a maze, bro.
Okay, well, if we hang left, we'll get through it.
Oh. There's a tree in the middle.
Oh, is it if there's like a middle thing, like you're trying to get into the center, it's a labyrinth? Is that how it works?
What?
And if you're trying to get through it, something like if you're trying to get to the thing in the middle, right? It's like the Minotaur is like a labyrinth, right? Because like he's in the middle or something.
Right.
But it's like you're trying to get through it, like to the other side. It's a maze, I think. I don't know if there's like a home-cooked explanation that I half remember. Something like that.
Why the fuck is there just like a random maze?
It's very elaborate for like someone to maintain out in the... Is that his garden? Like, is Bigfoot doing this in his spare time?
Is he a gardener? There's a road right here.
He just
Bigfoot
doesn't want us to
cultivates
step on the grass.
hedges. Oh, okay, so if we keep following up this way, we've been to this thing before. Oh, Jesus
Big guy.
Christ. That fucking scared the shit out of me. Oh my god, bro.
His reign of terror is over.
He wasn't attacking us! If we continue on this path, there's a section
Yes.
where we still haven't, like... There's, like, a few areas that we still haven't, like, looked through.
Oh, that's why you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the... If you look at the map in the corner, I'm just following it.
I thought you went into the house, and then I saw
No.
the incredibly bright headlight.
Oh, I need to scratch my leg. Wasn't attacking you yet.
I think Bigfoot is lost. We should get help.
You know what's funny? Oh! Oh!
A Bigfoot.
Nice! Okay, so... If we go up to the falls, there's like a huge area that we've not, like...
Yeah.
So this way. We're definitely crisscrossing a lot. What if you got, like, stuck in the water again? Imagine. When was the last time we saw Bigfoot?
A while ago. Is it 72 hours and we should call the police? Oh, that's where I was attacked by a tree.
Yeah. So get through the tree. And then we go up. How much evidence do you need for an evidence win? We need 2
All of
more footprints, 3 more scratches, and 1 more dead tourist. It's a lot. I've only ever won by killing Bigfoot, I'll be honest.
I mean, we're not trying to get to him. Actually, we did just camp out, like, at a lethal trap for a minute.
Listen.
But we're not trying to kill him.
Yeah,
we're trying
not...
to We're trying to go through the proper channels, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's him that is deciding to be, you know.
Yeah. It's not cooperating. He's resisting.
There's supposedly a path here that I'm not seeing. Oh, it's right here. Is it? What is this path?
Yeah.
Do you see how on the map there's like...
On the map, yeah. Like a secret little trail.
Oh. Am I about to get my ass clapped by a bear? Yep. That was Bigfoot. Oh god. You good?
Yeah, I'm okay. Got some wolf meat. In case you're hungry. Where'd you go?
I'm trying to find where this path led. This imaginary path.
Yeah, I think this map is tripping. It's
Oh, we found the ritual. This is where it is.
Wonderful.
Okay, and this is the path. The fuck? Is it?
Well, you did see one and go, no, that can't be it because it doesn't line up with the one on the map.
Cliff.
Oh.
So sure. Sure, Bessie. That's where we resurrect dead teammates.
Cool.
So that's where that is.
We want to go to the falls still, right?
Well, we just came from the falls.
Oh. There's another one on the coast, south of the pumpkin house. There are like 2 roads where we have nothing marked.
The pumpkin house.
On the coast between the trailer, the RV, and there's like a house with the camera.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, there's some roads that like lead to nothing. We can explore those.
Yeah, let's do that. Now, where the fuck is Bigfoot?
He might need our help. Like he could be stuck somewhere.
Nightjar,
Like
hey!
He's fallen and can't get up. He doesn't have that life alert thing.
No, he doesn't have life alert. Bless. We're trying to kill Bigfoot. He's done nothing new. He killed a dog. What do you mean?
I took that personally.
Yeah, and I took that personally. He killed poor sweet Toby. Evidence? I literally took a picture of the body. I literally took a picture of the body. It literally counts as evidence. This is a zipline.
Okay, so there's like... And that goes up to the house. Okay.
Whee! Okay, so this is where we last saw him, right?
Yeah.
All the way up here. And where did he run off to? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
He could be
Yeah,
stuck.
what's the house? So, is this the house I was attacked in?
Well, he attacked us on the road on our way out, right?
Well, I was inside a house and he came in.
Yeah, and there was a second time.
And into... Oh, yeah.
I could probably pick up... I'm gonna pick up that camera, because...
Yeah, no, smart.
I feel like he ran out into the woods? This way, maybe?
Perhaps.
Ever since I
should be
tuned
like
into
a
stream, I
trail.
get to see Bigfoot.
He's not real.
He's not real. Could he be stuck in the water, maybe? Oh god, I'm stuck in the water.
Now it looks stupid. He should be like making angry sounds, right? If he's somewhere. Oh! I fell down. I think I'm in a trap. I can't get up.
Swim around.
I, I'm in a hole. Can I climb?
Oh no.
Help!
You're now Bigfoot bait. I hope you know this. Mousie and
Well,
Kerm just trying to kill an innocent endangered creature to cover up their tracks. Wow! He's not innocent! There's gotta
this
be
is
a way
not
out of
good.
there.
What if I die and you revive me?
No, because then we have to get your stuff.
Oh, that's true. Oh, my stuff will be stuck as well. What the fuck? I mean, this.
Can you, like, place down, like, maybe a gas canister and jump on it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking with gas. So, can I put it down like here?
You know what you have to do, Mousie.
I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
No. Kerm's been such a good man. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I should probably not throw a car battery into the water.
Yeah,
they don't
probably.
like that.
Probably, yeah.
I can't get it down anywhere. Like, it's all just like red.
Shit. Can I do it?
Maybe. Like, I can put it there. That's the first, like, closest I can do.
No!
No! do, do, do. He got us where he wanted us. Well, are you ready? We can take the fuel canister. You wanna do it? You want the honors?
Yeah. It's been an honor.
A way to emote?
Hold on. I'll add to it.
Can you?
It's been an honor.
Ah!
We're not dead?
We're not dead. I've got some more stuff. Oh, we're just crawling.
Now we're like super stuck. That didn't work. I have fireworks.
I am crawling in the water. I think I'm drowning.
Kerm, you're in the sky!
Am I?
Your name is in the sky! Did you get like blown into the skybox?
No, I'm under you. For me, I'm under you. For me, I'm like under the water. Help me! I'm trapped under the water. I'm
Hold on, I'm dying.
Cause like I'm like at your knees.
Oh, you are. Hi. You dying?
Yeah. Yeah. A little more. Oh, wait, that didn't hit. Oh, that one did. Need more. Keep not hitting me.
How?
Oh, that one hit. They only do one
I
damage.
just shoot you in the dick.
Wait.
What if I just blow us up again?
Yeah, I think that would do it. It'd be. Are you lying down now?
Yes.
I only took 1 damage from that.
Oh, it's because we're
I need to get back
incapacitated.
up. Oh.
No, here we go. Here we go.
I have 1 HP.
I have 9.
Oh, there we go.
Kermit was
I might-
killed. And now I'm losing. We could have just exited the game, but you know what? This
Oh,
is more
look
fun.
at us. Look at us. Just, oh, you can't see that. I'm gonna take a screenshot.
hold on. I'll be there as well. Don't worry. Remember how much you were mocking Bigfoot for getting stuck in the water the other week? You're so right.
Oh, my limbs are going nuts. Are they doing that for you as
Yeah,
well?
they are! Oh my god, look at your limbs. I just realized that was your limb. Your legs are going so crazy. So you're saying this is karma. Oh my god! Bigfoot killed a dog! He was trying to kill us!
I'm gonna put the screenshot in. Oh, I can't post screenshots. I'm gonna DM it to you.
Yeah. I'm waiting to die.
It's just chilling in the water.
Hold on, let me look at it on my phone. so hard to see, but he's like T-posed in the water. Oh, here we go, here we go. This is the moment.
Oh, the big moment. About to pop.
Mousie was sent
Oh.
to heaven.
Oh, he found us. He played the long game and he just won.
Yep.
That is the Fabius Maximus strategy of just like running away until they've attritioned themselves to death.
Pretty much. Is this the canon ending? I mean...
We just got...
God.
We got trapped in the thing. Actually, I got trapped and then you tried to get me out and just fell down there yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Should have just let me go out my own way.
I should have. And then gone back to the ritual stones. I'm just creating the lobby again. Shall we do a different map?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Do you
get
want to
some
go
novelty.
to Yellowstone, Winter Park, or Redwood Park?
Ooh, Yellowstone sounds fun. That's the one with the big explodey volcano.
Mm-hmm. Create.
That'd make a good trap.
The lobby with this name already exists. Oh. I'm adding a W to it. Okay.
At the end?
Of the lobby name, yeah.
Yeah. Fine.
Sorry about that.
No lobby? Hmm.
Hold on, let me mute myself on...
I'm not gonna... Yeah, yeah, I was about to say, it's not... Because I've only got the one... Cap, yeah. Let's try. Yeah, 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 yep. Hmm. Because I see the old one coming up when I type that one in. Yes. I am still not getting anything. Nope.
That's so weird.
Can I join on your profile? Will
Maybe.
it let me do that?
Can I try that? Hold on. Can I invite you?
I don't get the join game
No,
thing.
I can't invite you either.
What if just leave for a
Wah.
second? Find lobby. Try again.
Chat, I need to blow my nose. I've had the flu. Please forgive.
Yeah, I still get the Rose Lake Park one. Just leave the game. Come back. See if that'll do it. Yeah. The lobby's cursed.
Okay, we're gonna try and leave the lobby. How do I leave the lobby? Oh shit, do I have to like alt F4? Uh-oh.
It's a great game.
It's still in early access, to be fair.
That's true.
Okay, so we're gonna close Bigfoot. Redwood Park is also like really pretty. I've now officially seen all of the maps, so... Oh, I can do the old name. We're going to Yellowstone,
that's great.
yeah?
Yeah, sure.
No, it says a lobby with this name already exists. Okay, I'm doing a different lobby name. And it's gonna be... Mousie.
It's not coming up for me.
What? How are we suddenly having the connection issues? This
Oh,
can't
there.
be.
It's up now. It's up now. Yellowstone. Is it
Yay!
old password?
Yep. We did it. We did it.
We've done it. We have successfully almost started the game.
So true. Okay, I'm gonna put our loot up as well since we died last time. Hopefully this time we can actually find all the evidence. Wouldn't that be something? We need to like be thorough in our exploration. Yeah. You ready?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I have like. Yes, I'm ready. Yeah. No, we're leaving no stern. No stone unturned.
We're leaving no crumbs, is what's happening. No
We're eating
crumbs.
all the crumbs. Hansel and Gretel will never find their way back.
Welcome to Yellowstone.
Thank you.
You excited?
Appreciate it. Very.
You ever been
I'll
to
let you have the
Yellowstone
camera.
before, mister?
No, first time.
First time, okay. Where's the camera? It's over here. Oh, perfect. You got your tablet though, right?
Yes, I'm gonna pick up.
Do not tell me there's already a bear here.
Oh, that is a bear, and it's here. Let's just close the door real quick. Oh, the night vision camera.
Yeah, do you want that?
Sure.
Why don't you give it a go? Because I never seem to make use of it.
I'll take the handgun again.
Okay.
Take the
Apparently.
9mm.
Apparently.
Oh, why? Yeah, they. They just took a different asset for this one. 'Cause these drawers open.
Take some of those. Take the drone.
Take the drugs.
So there's only 2 tablets, but there's this computer where someone can stick behind and like cycle through.
Oh, that was a drone battery. It's for you.
Oh, yep. Thank you.
And wine. I can't pick that up though.
I wish. You know, I could go for a glass of wine. I know I'm just getting over a sickness, but like a glass of wine sounds fucking goated right now.
It's good for the heart.
You know what? I might order groceries. It's a nice RV, just camp out. Bigfoot will find us and like ruin our day. I'm not lying. Okay, so this map is like squiggly, if you couldn't tell.
Oh, it really is.
Mm-hmm. This is also the map that like Bigfoot like straight out the gate attacked us. He happened to be right next to our RV when we started.
Well, this time it was a bear, so we'll be fine.
Old Hunting Tower 3. I think we just pick a direction and go.
Yeah, what if we start at like the roads like way north of the lake? That's like way like most out of the way, and then
how do you
make our way back in. You see like north of the lake?
Which lake?
There's like a dead end, the big one.
The big one, the one that had outlets onto the map, out off the edge of the map.
Yeah. You see like at the top.
Okay, sure. No, I dig it.
Yeah, that's like a big dead end.
Okay.
If we can be done with that, then we don't have to come back.
You mean you almost ran him over with your RV last time? Ah! Melon was driving.
Just tried to get your
Wasn't
insurance.
me.
It was the hunting tower?
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
It's a bit of 5.56 ammo up here. That's the assault rifle one.
Good times. What's over here? Oh, there's a zip line here. This goes on to the main road. Shall we?
Is that where we want to go?
Yeah, that's where
No.
you want to go.
It goes south.
Well, we
Oh,
know...
the main road. Yeah, main road. Main road,
Oh,
yeah.
what is this? Old Faithful Basin. Is there
Oh,
anything
like the
here?
Wonder in Civ in real life?
It looks like there's a building up here. Never mind, it's a rock. The water actually burns you, by the way.
Yes, it's a geyser.
Thank you. I love fun facts with Kerm.
Fun fact, geysers hurt.
Wow, I'm learning so much! They have no respect for nature? Wow. Wow. Excuse you, I respect the fuck out of nature. Nature and me, like this. Okay?
Well, respect, like you fear it or you like it.
Both.
Fair.
Now, if I remember correctly from this map, there should be
Oh,
like...
that is a death tree right there. Don't go under that.
You think?
Oh, it's gonna be, isn't it? No?
No? Okay, go on.
Okay, well,
It's fine for now.
I lied. Sometimes I tell lies on the internet.
Island Ranger House.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Mousie respects nature so much, she's currently hunting it down with a rifle. Oh my god, you're so right.
Well, does
Oh!
the Predator not respect Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean,
Is there not a hotkey for the camera? I'm gonna lose my mind. Hold on, I need to look this up. Give me a second.
it's gonna walk up to the hut.
It says C, but like, I'm talking about camera.
Oh, there's a footprint up here.
On my way up. Like, yeah. This just brings out that camera. I want the photo camera.
Is it in the
It's
equipment
not in
wheel?
the, no, it is in the equipment wheel. That's how I've always navigated to it. Or I've used because it's on the same slot as the night vision. So that's how I've always navigated, like, to the camera. I've either pressed N really quickly or, ooh, an extra trap. I'm at the ranger station. Don't forget to take a tablet. Great. What's, behind the building? Is there anything? It's just trash.
Yeah. Also, there's a bin.
What's down here? Oh, good. I just fell on my ass.
Yeah, we do that sometimes.
This is a zip
I
line.
got some 7.62 ammo. That's the one you used. Yeah, well, that's why we want to go, actually, that end.
Not bad. Lake Village.
Got a
Oh shit!
flag
Oh,
on board.
and more evidence. We're actually getting evidence, homie.
Is that with 3
Look,
footsteps
there's-
already?
Oh, look! Scratches!
Oh! Did you turn up the... Oh, there's a safe here.
Is there a code somewhere? Hold on,
I haven't found one yet. On the table. 7031.
Yeah, 7031. Oh, it's a gun safe as well.
It's the big guy.
Oh, have fun.
Oh, okay, that's that. Okay. Let's see, that's that mattress,
We
man.
might actually get a passive run this time with the amount of evidence we're getting, but it's also
Yeah,
nice having the
Bigfoot's
gun.
no one. Guns are fun.
So,
Okay.
this seems fine. I'm gonna put a camera down.
Good
Just
call.
in
We
case.
don't have any meat.
I do. I picked it all
Okay.
up from the fridge. Oh, a baseball bat. Fun. Oh, another trap. Oh my god. There might be a dead body around here somewhere.
I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either.
Maybe it's Bigfoot calling.
Pick up then.
Not home.
Oh, shame. Feels like most series on Discovery the last few years. So much evidence, but never actually seeing him. The elusive creature that is Bigfoot.
Oh, that was something that growled?
That's the car.
Oh, the car growls.
There was a dead body here the last time I was on this map.
Yes, peepers for dead people.
Jesus Christ!
Okay. No, I can't pick it up.
God, it's so loud.
I've got a bunch of flagon balls. Oh, there's a drone battery.
Just pick that up.
Yep. Oh,
Hold on,
found a
I need
fuel
to take
canister.
my meds. Give me a second. Bigfoot uses a phone now? Imagine.
He's evolving.
I heard forest movement, sorry. That really freaked me out. So there's no dead body. Hold on, let's look around. It's like
That's bullshit. I was promised a dead guy.
I just want to like look around, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Just in case. There's no notes or anything.
No, only the one for the safe. Maybe
You know, in
down
the
at the
original
beach.
story, Stuart Little isn't a mouse. He's mouse-like, but he's human.
What?
What? Say psych right now. Okay, well, there's no dead body.
To be fair, it makes a lot more sense, like, adopting, like, a human
They
from
never
an orphanage.
explicitly say he's a mouse. That's crazy.
He's not a mouse, he just looks like that.
Fair enough. A boy named Stuart Little is born to an ordinary family in New York City. He's normal in every way except that he's only just over 2 inches tall and looks exactly like a mouse. He is a cryptid. Amazing. There's gonna be a tree that falls on us, I'm calling it now. Shall we?
Let's do it. No.
Nope, okay. Old Hunting Tower 2 is this way.
Right, let's go that way.
We want to explore all of it, so...
We have not been caught by a single Bigfoot trap yet.
Why would you
I
say
hear
that?
something. Well, I said yet.
I think that's a bison.
Yeah. No, it didn't... Yeah, it didn't sound like the bear or the wolf, so I think we're good.
Oh, you found the hunting tower.
Oh yeah, there he is. Oh, and another rifle.
I already have a rifle, so you can pick that one up. Just to have it. Doesn't hurt.
Just to have it. Yeah, it's neat to have.
Who doesn't love guns?
Gonna wholesome retreat to the forest, just armed to the teeth.
There's nothing here. Oh, no, there's a flare gun pellet. Okay.
I've got a bunch of flagon bullets if you want them.
Yeah, I'll take them.
No use to me right now. Where are they? There they are.
Some tricky face snuck into his house and replaced the baby with a mouse boy. Okay, so we've done this loop. Now let's... As an American, I have to say, what's wrong with that? Homie, there's a lot of things wrong with that. We as America need to reflect. Except I don't live in America anymore and I hope to never go back, so... It is what it is. Grr, remember my gun rights, grr.
Skull.
Follow the road, I guess? It's gotta lead somewhere, right? Oh.
Got.
Shut up. It's gotta lead somewhere, right?
A second later.
Literally, like, just a few moments. Literally, like... Oh, man. Would European Bigfoot be big meter? Fucking hell. No, because it's describing his feet. He has big feet, so Bigfoot. I like your joke,
Oh.
though. Oh my god! Stephanos gets timed out for that joke! You timed them out for 600 oh, you removed the time. Okay. There should be a path over here. Oh yeah, right here. Here we go. So what are we missing evidence-wise? 2 footprints, 2 scratches, 2 dead tourists, and a photo. Ah!
Watch out.
Thanks!
Oh, another skull.
Oh,
that's a
I
guy.
can't pick this up.
Guy alert.
Yeah, he did a little screech. Hot Spring Cave. I'm not feeling very, hot.
Hot spring break. Another one?
That's a cliff fall. Oh!
Oh. Will you look at that?
Okay. Look at us getting evidence. Ah! Why is the ground shaking?
The volcano explodes and that's it. We all die.
Hold me, I'm scared. Okay, that was something. Can we go up here? This isn't...
Maybe like some of the earth opened up. Maybe there's like a cave or something now.
I don't know about that. So they're hunting a tourist. No! Oh, that's water. Ooh, this way. Bigfoot could be English and just on vacation. Don't know about that.
We don't take kindly to English people around here.
Not in this here Yellowstone Park. Sasquatch appears in Canadian folklore as well, likely a Canadian who got lost in the mountains and crossed over a border by mistake. We were talking about this earlier. Some people... Oh, there's a path here. Some people... what was it? A black bear population?
Oh, yeah. Bigfoot sightings track with black bear population density thing.
Sasquatch is my favorite sport. Sports? Sorry.
Oh, another one. Missed me.
Yo!
I am invincible.
Nice. I don't think we need to go... Hold on, there's a sign here. We've already seen Hot Spring Cave. Let's go towards Hunting Tower.
Yes.
Oh, what's this?
I think we've... Is that the one we went to earlier?
No, this is a new one. If it's not on the map, then
Oh,
we've not
yeah.
been there.
Let's go check it out. Car battery. I love those.
I'm so proud of us for being so thorough. Look at us go.
Was our shotgun? I've got some 12 gauge.
Ooh, yes.
Where are they? They're there.
On the road again. I can't wait to be on the road again. This tree looks...
Nah.
Okay.
That tree will never fall.
Okay, there's an... Oh, there's a little fox! That's so cute.
Follow him. It's gonna lead us.
Oh my god, thank you so much for taking us to the old sawmill.
Thank you, spirit of the forest.
Thank you.
Stop pissing all over the place, spirit of the forest.
Once again, let me know if you need ammo or something.
Good for now. Thank you. Thank you, kind stranger.
Always, we gotta stick together out here in the wild.
Thank you for the Reddit gold. Wholesome chunkus.
Fuck's sake. Wholesome chunk.
Wow. 600 updates.
Is there anything around here?
Just a bunch of forest.
Just a
Boring.
bunch of forest. Boring. Okay. Should we keep following this? Oh wait, there's a sign here. Old Faithful Basin, Old Sawmill. Oh, Ranger's house. Hello. Yes,
Hello.
please.
Mr. Ranger, have you seen a guy? He's about yay high. He's got massive feet. I want to talk to him.
That's a lot of blood.
It's a baseball
Ooh, Bigfoot!
bat.
Big feet! We've gotten all the footprints.
Lovely.
Footprints.
Foot, feet.
I'm gonna turn on the lights.
There's a bit fuel canister.
Good
Oh,
evening, Messy and Chat.
flag on.
Hi. Hey!
Oh, and a piece of paper. Okay. That old man has been trying to kill me. He's out of his mind.
Sorry.
We're looking for an old man.
Are we? Oop. Didn't mean to hit that.
Wouldn't want to accidentally nuke the VOD.
I despise that with every fiber of my being.
That is stupid.
It's so there should be a way to turn down those sounds. I'm just looking for dead bodies, you know what I mean?
Always.
Okay, away we go. Shall I put down a camera right here?
This is a great place for it, I think. It's, yeah, it's like at the confluence at a lot of roads in the north.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little concerned that it's not showing up on the map. Oh, no, it is. It is. Okay. It just hadn't showed up on the mini-map.
Yeah, it's set to update.
Okay, so we need to decide where we go.
What if we go...
Oh, this way, yeah, for sure.
West.
Yeah, there's loads of,
There's,
tiny little...
Yeah, if we can, close this bit off.
Does Bigfoot travel by roads? He might be a little more civilized than we give him credit for. You never know.
I think he's not too proud to go on the roads. They're very practical. Meat!
Oh my god! You did not even hesitate! Holy shit!
Either I hit him perfectly, in his heart, or this gun is a lot more powerful than the other one.
Holy shit! Ooh, gas canister. There's a tiny little path here.
God, there are a lot of idling cars.
Yeah, I think people just got the fuck out. Or died. That's also possible. Oh, that just
That
goes
is
to a bridge.
a bear, I think.
Where?
It was 2 hours left that way. Can't ping.
I think we go back because this is a bridge that goes away from where we want to
You
explore.
hear him?
Uh-huh, yeah. Just keep
Might
moving.
not be a bear, actually.
That's definitely a bear. You're already forgetting the sound of his scream.
To be
Died
fair,
because
he's not
Kerm-
really shown his face for a while.
Died because Kerm shot them thinking they were a Bigfoot. Good cover for a serial killer like Kerm. I thought they were Bigfoot. My god.
We shoot indiscriminately at anyone out here.
Oh my god! We're gonna end up on a list!
Oh, another skull.
These skulls are for you.
Thank you.
Of course. All my homies get cool skulls.
You really know what I like. Oh, there's a Bigfoot.
Oh, we already have the footprints though. I'll take it anyway.
No! Can't have too many big feet.
You're so right, brother. So right.
It's weird he leaves a singular footprint.
Right? Maybe he got his foot stuck in the mud. That's how we're getting them. You know what I mean? Already added you. Oh my god. What if somebody already did report them to all those phones? Are the police desperately trying to get a hold of them and tell them to surrender? They can come and get me, as far as I'm concerned.
Wait, what if Bigfoot has called the police and then we show up with guns and then they open fire?
Honestly, if
he's trying to play
if he's that smart, fair play. We need trees, scratch marks on trees. We've got on all the feet.
More than enough.
More than enough feet. Collecting skulls, stealing from other campsites, shooting indiscriminately, no hunting license, express a desire to shoot other humans.
Oh, something yelped in there?
That's it, fox.
Oh, fox, of course.
It's the way you say it, Kerm. Find me by the tree. Avery is dead. What the fuck? Oh, I got fireworks.
Oh, got some 12 gauge. Oh, accidentally no scope the closet.
2407.
24.
Dynamite!
Hello.
Okay. There's some ammo. Good. You checked all this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I went that way.
Okay, anything cool around here? Any dead bodies?
Oh,
That is Bigfoot.
That it's a Bigfoot.
Yep. Avery's
You
one of
wanna...
the earlier victims. No! Stress me out.
Oh, wait, I still have the trap. Do you have... Oh, I have meat.
Oh, I don't think he's near us yet.
We could hang out for a bit.
Yeah? Oh,
No?
Look at the well. There's a well. That's not actually a well.
It's shit well.
It is a very shit well. But there's blood.
I'm gonna put the trap down here for a bit. I'm gonna put some...
I do have fireworks. I know we're going for, but we could do some damage. Really send a message.
True. You know, we're just signaling to him, you know? Leave us alone.
Oh, whoops.
Be careful. This is just like several things that can and will kill you.
I did not realize that you could actually set off the trap with the dynamite, like throwing the dynamite at it. That's news to me.
It's incredibly terrifying news.
Yeah. Okay, so now we wait.
Oh, inspect, note. Oh, there's a lot to read in this one.
Anyways. Hello, this is the Rangers. Two crazy sons of bitches with a rifle shooting at anything that moves.
Okay, get back in the house. Gonna just look through the curtain.
Oh, for sure. We can just stand back from the window and just watch. There is literally so much out there.
Just gonna look at the map for a minute. Okay, well, we've done a good job at clearing the north.
Oh yeah, look at us go. He's gotta come, like, out here. This is kind of out of the way.
Oh, that's true. This is like the furthest away he could go.
But I mean, we can chill. We can vibe. It's fine.
I mean, we did
certainly
hear
don't
him.
mind.
Like,
We're already 2 hours into the stream, so like we could run ads right now while we wait for Bigfoot.
it's a great idea.
Dearest mods, could you run ads, please and thank you. From my heart. Mwah. Thank you. Oh my god! Fucking hell! Oh, it's so bad! Ah!
Shut up!
Tell me when it's over.
It's over.
Okay.
Okay, this is not bringing me joy.
I know it's not, but it'll be so worth it. Imagine.
Oh, this spectacle.
I'm just calling to say I ran the ads for you.
The eagle is in the nest.
Should I put the drone out?
Yeah, sure, I'll cover you.
Alright.
Oh, he's here, he's here,
Oh my god.
shot it.
Okay, here we go.
It's coming in. Oh, didn't hit him.
He's not afraid! I need to get a picture of him!
No, come back. We need to get it. Sir, can we get a picture of you?
Fuck! Oh, and we keep the trap! We didn't lose the trap!
Infinite traps glitch? Just blow him to shit?
Let me grab the drone.
Yeah.
He showed up! He showed up! He came to our
We did
party!
it. We did it, Reddit.
Oh my god. Look how much health we took out of him.
Yeah, we're just gonna... Oh, shit. That's so loud. I mean, I've got, like, every sound in the game so low, and that was...
That's pretty bad.
Immense.
He's near us now, that's for sure. Honestly,
Yeah,
looks like
but...
2 people in a Bigfoot suit. I have a special skin on him, so I got one of the Bigfoot skins.
I don't think he had a spear in the last one.
He's got a skin on my screen, at least.
Yeah, he's got a skin now, but I think last map he did. Get in the car.
We want to go this way. Oh wait, no, we've been this way. This is the way we came. That's a zip line.
Right.
I'm gonna get all these like little...
Yeah, take all the little dead ends. Make sure we've explored everything. It's a pile of... Oh, that's the... Is it the moose pile? Oh, there's a bear.
There sure is. It might
Hello,
leave us
Mr.
alone.
Bear.
No, it's not! Fucking hell!
God, he took offense to that.
Yeah! Jesus Christ!
He heard you were talking shit.
He's so dead, you're so right.
Bears are very sensitive creatures.
You're so right, you're so right. Okay.
I think we've been here before. I didn't get a pop-up.
No, we did. I just got the pop-up. It's
Oh.
check your map. If only one of us will get the pop-up, but like always check your map to see if the icon's now up.
Mm-hmm.
Another rifle. So many
Lovely.
rifles.
God, why are there so many rifles in this country?
Is there a body somewhere? Where are the dead bodies? Where are the dead tourists? Shouldn't they be around here
Yeah.
somewhere?
Like, their campfire's still going.
Yeah,
Like, it's
totally
fresh.
irresponsible. Who's Mousie playing with? This is my friend Kerm.
Hi. It's me.
That do be Kerm. Fire Watchtower! Oh, I've been here before. This is cool. This place is really neat for a setup as well. If we can set one up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can see that. And there's a zip line.
There is. It's really cool. Clicked on you by accident.
On me?
Yeah, I did.
Find anything good?
No, it's just the trade thing.
Oh, just some loser. There's nothing up here.
Really?
Like, everything I've looked at was empty.
That's really disappointing. Wow. So we just have a trap. That's all we have. Let me look around outside. No, there's genuinely nothing. Wow.
I've got some more explosives.
That's lame as shit. We'll have to shoot it.
That's not easier.
Bro?
He's thumping the shit out of me.
How did he not?
Get the picture.
Oh shit, you're right.
No.
I got it.
Got it.
I got the picture. Okay, he's gone. Woo!
I missed him.
And we kept the trap.
Infinite trap glitch. Let's go.
Moving on.
I'm all out of things to explode.
That's fine. I have a flare gun still. I think your first win of this game is going to be by killing him, and that's okay.
We're not even trying. Like, he could just scratch more trees and we wouldn't have to kill him.
Skull for you.
Like, has he considered that all he has to do is, like, scratch some trees?
Yeah, and show us where the dead tourists are. Oh, this just goes back to the Firewatch Tower.
Maybe it's like we don't actually kill him, we just, like, bruise him a bit and coerce him.
Jesus fucking Christ. Let's just keep moving. I just need to scratch you instead. Yeah, like...
I think you can fast reload by just switching gun.
Yeah.
Because, I did... Like, I interrupted the reload animation after, like, a split second, and it's...
Do you want to follow the outer
fully
edge?
reload it. Yeah, let's go edge.
Oh, there's, Mallard Campground. Where was that?
It's the camp we...
Oh, yeah, okay. Mystic Falls, Firewatch Tower. What's on this sign? Oh, Ranger Station. Ranger Station.
Yeah, there's a little, dead end on the left somewhere.
Yes.
That it? Yeah.
Ranger Station, let's go. Things you love to see.
Where are all the rangers?
I'm gonna set up a trap outside the door. I'm having thoughts about what might happen. Just in case.
Ooh,
He's here! He's literally here!
Oh, inside? What? What happened?
He pulled one of us through the window.
Oh, that's what happened.
Did he get in the trap?
Because I was just on the ground.
Yeah, he stepped on the trap. He stepped on the trap.
There's some shotgun shells. Like a whole bunch.
Oh, not this shit.
Oh, is he sieging us now?
No, just the clock.
Oh, he ripped the...
Wait, the flashlight's
over
still... Ah!
Sir, we don't want to kill you!
We want an evidence win! We literally want to win with evidence!
Stop
Oh my
resisting!
God, he's a
Stop
wrestler.
resisting!
What the hell? Look at our trap as well. Wow, that
He's
was
so close
crazy
to death.
instincts on me. That was a crazy instinct on my part. Holy shit.
Thank you, Instinct.
Thank you, instincts. There was nothing in the ranger station, really. I don't want to win with fucking... by killing him. I want an evidence win so bad. We need to keep moving, for real, on God.
It didn't have to come to this,
It
Bigfoot.
didn't have to come to this. Found the main
I mean,
road.
next time he attacks us, he will die.
Probably, yeah. We should probably try and put some, like, distance between us and him. just to try and avoid this.
Yes. Oh.
You good? Free meat? Good.
Oh, meat, yeah. Let's take some dog meat.
I want to check the end of this road. Yep. Okay, good. There's a hut at the end of the road.
Oh, yes, there sure is.
There's a phone in here. Watch it go off. It's fucking nothing.
I love this show. Oh, look, it's him. It's the guy.
Kerm,
What?
I hate to say it, but I think your brain's a little fried. I know it's been a hard day, but
Oh, he's healing again. He could actually recover a lot of his health.
yeah,
To
he
be
could.
fair.
But like maybe this works in our favor if he recovers.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can actually get to
Or is this the king?
yes.
Yeah, we can actually get the evidence, maybe. Wouldn't that be nice?
We have sort of done the whole top half of the map.
Yeah. There's a lot of the middle-ish bit that we
Yeah, there
still
should be something
haven't
to the
done.
left here.
Yeah. We'll come back to this road crossing. Park rules. What
Is this
rules?
it?
Oh, here we go. Biscuit Basin. Oh.
I don't want to go in the geyser.
Oh, there's a little... Okay. There's so much ammo everywhere!
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of ammo. I just found...
Who's leaving ammo
bunch.
around? This is unsafe. You can take the ammo on the table.
Is ammo not, like, expensive or something?
In America? I guess not.
I thought it was the Gillette principle, where, like, the guns are cheap, but the ammo is expensive,
Okay,
you know?
we have a choice. Do we want to go around the outer edge? I think we do. So we go back.
Yeah, I think we just keep edging. Oh, something to the left.
I need to drink some water real quick. Watch me.
Yep. It's important to hydrate out in nature.
I'm focusing so hard. I've got really bad resting bitch face right now. So sorry, chat.
Oh, you've got that concentration scowl.
Yeah, I've got that the concentration scowl. That's exactly it. Just the...
Like, if you were wearing glasses, they'd be, like, all the way down your nose.
Yeah. Ammo is expensive currently. Why do you know this? How do you know this?
Do you day trade in ammo?
She's just tired of chat calling out her murders. I just want evidence of Bigfoot. That's all I want. We have 2 bodies to find.
Oh.
Oh, we do actually have extra photos. It counts them. Not again. Oh no, it's not attacking. Okay. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah. This bear will not attack.
Smiley face. Old hunting tower 4. There she blows. What's up there?
Some 12 gauge. You can have it. Oh, I tried to give it to you.
Oh, sorry. I know many firearm enthusiasts and hunters. Okay. When there's... Bullets are more expensive when there's a Democratic president. You? Why is Q one of them? I thought it was just WASD. Oh, I got E once as well, I guess. This is a path
Yeah, I
that
think
goes down. Should we follow
I think
it?
the
This isn't on
one.
the map.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that is close.
Oh,
I think
this
the
goes
one
down to
time
the little... More ammo. There's like lit lanterns and everything. This is so unsafe. Oh, look.
I don't think this place looks like it's at a great fire risk.
You don't say. What's down here? Oh. This is a cliff. We should be careful. There we go. Down to the road. I wonder what's down here.
Better be worthwhile. Maybe a dead body?
Could only dream.
God, what I wouldn't do. I would kill for a dead body.
It's just a lake.
This stupid lake.
God damn it. There's nothing here.
There should be something on the other side too.
We were just there. That's where we came from.
What, on the left? Here?
Yeah. We ziplined across.
No, where we're headed now. Oh, is that
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
That is so. Okay.
Crazy, right? He is really regenning. Good for him. We want that in a
Honestly,
Bigfoot.
he's just having some him time.
I was going to make a comment about how you make the Ewoks' victory on Endor look plausible, but then I remembered your lack of Star Wars knowledge. What can I say? Just gotta keep moving. There's another path up ahead.
Yeah, an overhanging tree. What should fall?
Lewis Lake Campground. Oh, nice! Going to make Mousie watch Star Wars next. This is the thing, I have seen Star Wars. I don't remember a lot of it. It was like when I was really young.
They're mostly fine.
Ooh, fireworks.
Fun.
For the whole family. Oh, look! Another footprint! Wow!
Yeah, I didn't bother mentioning it, because... Oh, actually, do we get paid extra for...
We don't get paid anything, which is confusing.
What?
Oh, have you seen the crazy old man at Mystic Falls? I've seen him twice already. Don't tell me it's a mistake. And the pellets. Amazing.
Oh, he's here!
Okay. That was just uncalled for, in my opinion.
Yeah, we did very little damage to him this time.
Yeah, well, we didn't have explosives, did we?
That's true. We were lacking in the... Oh, I should have put the GPS tracker on him.
Oh, so true. Skull.
Thank you.
That's actually a really good shout. Because then we could avoid him a little bit better.
Yeah, we could totally steer clear of him.
Mm-hmm. on, scratch marks on trees, please. They're usually by the road. They're not like crazy
in
up.
the deep forest.
Yeah, no. In my experience,
No,
they've always been like near a road.
Yeah, I don't think they would put things just like in the
I say we go south.
in the deep forest.
There's a big
Sounds good.
tail end south.
Yeah, if we can close up this like corner of the map, that would be.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm gonna heal, but I'm out of health kits after that.
Let's see. Oh, can I help you with that? Nope, I have just used my last one.
Okay, that's good. Let's hope we can find some health kits.
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, is that him? Yeah, that is him.
Fucking hell. He just followed us. Hold on, I got a flare gun.
Creep.
There we go.
Oh, we need to put the thing on him.
Oh, the tracker.
No!
Throw it at him, throw it at him.
Ah. He ran.
Aww. Oh, I got another first aid kit. Okay. Ooh.
He might come back.
Probably. I have a GPS sensors now as well.
Oh, there's a
shotgun on the
handgun.
wall.
And a handgun.
Perfect, I'll take that.
We're gonna trade bullets.
Oh! Oh! There's a safe! Is there a code somewhere?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nope.
Come on.
Sounds like bad company out there.
No!
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
gotta
get you
be
some
here.
9mm. How many do you have? Doesn't matter.
I have 84
give you this many.
now.
Oh,
You did not need to give me that many. How much,
I've
shotgun?
given you all the 12 gauges I found.
Sorry, my light was just flipping out. I thought it was...
Yeah, that's fair. I have 0 12 gauge.
Can't believe he followed us up here. Dickheads. This guy! We're about to win.
No, I didn't have time.
Aww. Bro. He's really after us. Jesus. Are you okay?
He really is. Sort of half HP.
You're half. Holy shit. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here you go. Please heal. Because if he
Sure.
slams you like that again...
Oh. You okay? I did just
No.
eat the health kit.
It's fine.
Oh, he's
Is he
running
behind
around
us?
back there again. Yes, he ran that way. I don't know if there are many crossings.
Just keep running. There's a signpost up here. Hold on. Creek Campground.
Oh, I hear him in the background. Yep.
We won.
Oh, it's right between the eyes. Look at that.
Yep. God damn it. Will we ever get an evidence win?
He keeps just
Where
interfering
did I find
with.
this game? It's on Steam. It's called Bigfoot. It's...
The name is really on the nose.
Look how much damage we did. Jesus.
We did a big explosion too.
Yeah. Damn it!
Keeps interfering with the investigation. Like he could just sit it out and he would live.
He could. Legit. Do we want to go to Redwood?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, it's doing that thing again where it doesn't like my lobby name. just mouse, no I.
Yep.
Same password. He tried his best to protect the forest.
It's not... Oh, there it is.
He literally could have just chilled. We could have gotten our evidence, and we could have just gone and lived a great life.
Oh, who knows what the government would have done to him, but that is none of our business.
It's none of our business. If anything, us killing him is a mercy. Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, they would either do science on him.
Should I give him more health, maybe?
Yes. That is
it.
a great call.
He'll still do the same amount of damage, but he has more health and we have more loot. This will be interesting. Don't make me get my criminal charges list out again. Oh my god.
A week ago, tragedy struck in Redwood. The bodies of 4 people were found. So they're already found.
That's the thing. That's what's weird.
Oh, is it like is this the prequel to the...
Maybe?
To that, like, information play? Maybe we found them.
I assume so. The GPS sensor. Camera, flare gun. Let me know if you want to start with, like, any different stuff as well, by the way. I'm just grabbing indiscriminately.
I'm fine, generally, with, how... Did it before?
Okay.
I'll get one of those.
Like, we can just grab everything and then trade it.
Yeah. It's,
if you want the night vision camera, did you use it much?
Not at all. Just didn't get around to it.
Maybe give it a try this time.
Yeah, sure.
Especially at, like, night, you know?
Where was it?
Oh my god, you can open these? No, this whole time I didn't know those doors opened.
Was there stuff in there?
There was.
Well, that could have been handy. I've taken everything outside.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, well, I checked everything. Not taken.
Oh god, I've really got to go to the restroom again. I've drank so much water.
Yep.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna sit on the van real quick. Oh, you didn't take the signal flare stick.
Oh.
Be right back.
What's that? Oh, yes.
You want to know something fun that I learned? You can actually save the maps.
Oh, no way.
And come back to them. Like, you can save the game and come back.
That's cool. So, like, yeah. I think we should go north, and I think it's the entrance at the end of the big road, and then we can just...
There's a village?
Figure it out from there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go this way?
Let's go to the park entry first, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a...
I say we just kill him this time. Surely reverse psychology will work. Also, we're nearly at 3 hours, so we're definitely gonna run over.
Great thing we gave him more life.
Oh, fuck. Miso Ippy. How about this? We'll see how far we get.
Yeah.
But we'll not lock it in, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, no one's forcing us to do anything. We
Yeah.
can live inside the microwave.
Why?
There's nothing in there.
You heard him, folks. They're going there with the intention of doing murder. And what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?
Right.
I'm just checking around. I once found a body behind a building. That's why I keep looking obsessively.
Right.
So when they try and tell Bigfoot they don't want to kill him, we'll know. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to kill... I'm trying to reverse psychology this. I want to kill Bigfoot. Winky face. And maybe that will allow us to get all the evidence this time. I'm calling Mothman. I would love it if you did. Mothman would be so cute. Which way do you want to go? Edge it?
Let's see. Yeah, let's keep edging.
The village is pretty goated, though. It's a massive, like, there's loads of houses and everything. So we definitely want to hit that up at some point.
I think Redwood is outside of Mothman's jurisdiction.
Fantastic. There's nothing here.
Great. Oh, something.
There's not even any tree evidence or anything like that. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, we've seen that, like, once.
How have we seen so little scratches?
We were all over the map last time, and we never found a single body.
I swear. It was probably in, like, the middle, for one. And two, if it's possible for some of the trees just in the middle of, like, the forest to have the scratchies on them...
There's no way.
They wouldn't, surely. Oh, fuck.
Dog.
Why is he... What?
He's bowing.
Bro, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to...
I turned him into bones. Hey, Firewatch thing.
Nice. Let's turn the lights on. Oh, there's a save! There's a gun save! Will there be a code, though?
And a R700 rifle.
Nice. Is there a code somewhere?
It's
Oh,
a
come on.
really good question. Let me just look outside.
Bro.
Hmm.
No, not again.
Well, I'll be damned.
Fuck!
It's probably close by.
It has to be, surely, because in my experience, it's never been, like...
Oh, shit. I thought them were the stairs. Oh, no.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Not in front of everyone on the internet.
There's like a little ways like across. John Adams tree. That's a big tree. Apparently these are like actual locations.
Jesus Christ. Tree.
Nature's really out there.
I don't think nature wants us out here.
No.
It's sending subtle signals that we should go home.
So, Elam Campground, I'm guessing, is where we want to be. Hopefully we
Yeah.
can find the codes.
look for a bit of paper. It's I feel like it should be within the same like generation like area.
Yeah.
What was the
Skull.
fuck? Yeah. Have we seen him yet?
Trees. I'm just looking at the map, trying to figure out which way is which. Oh, there's a path here? Every once in a while, we turn so fast that it looks like it's like our flashlights are blinking.
Yeah. Faster than light.
I like how I have to bully Mousie and Kerm if Melon isn't available to be bullied. That's fair and valid. But you can still bully, like, Melon.
Oh, there's a code here.
There is?
Okay, 8268.
8268.
Yes.
8268. 8268. Let's go.
68.
8268. We can come back and check this shit out. Once we have the big gun.
Oh, whatever it is.
Oh, that's a gun safe, homie.
Oh, I hope it's the assault rifle. That'll be fun.
What was the code?
8268.
8268.
Yes. Oh. It's a crow. Middle of the night.
Well, it's about to become. It's starting to become day.
Yeah, I guess it's like the crack of dawn.
8268.
You there yet?
I'm almost there.
Meat.
I'm here. 8268. Oh, it's the M4CL.
Ooh.
Oh my god, homie, look at this.
Let's see. Oh, it's a beautiful gun. I've got some, is it, 5.62, whatever it's called?
I have no idea.
No, 5.56. That's, I've got a lot of them. There you go.
120, let's fucking go. Can we shortcut our way down? We could go up the firewash and take the zip line down.
Running up and down the stairs.
I
Doing
know,
a
but do you want to
number on-
run the whole, like... And we can make our way this way. That actually worked out pretty well. Hello, little fox. Okay, so
Oh,
we
like
were...
a cool arch.
How do we get back? We need to go back up.
Oh, where we came from?
Yeah, so that campground where we found the code, there was a little
Oh, yes.
bit on the end.
Yes.
We want to make sure we cover everything, just in case.
I mean, we've got some pretty
This map
mean
is
weaponry
so
right now.
pretty.
It is.
I think this is probably my favorite map so far.
Yeah, I like how the light is like, cause a lot less tree density obviously when they're that big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more like light.
Oh, fucking hell.
Another cave?
This is probably trapped. I'm putting a camera down here.
Hello?
Anyone home? What the fuck? Whoa, there's like stuff down there. What the hell? Did you see that?
Yeah. Let's just go this way around. Oh, this is the way down? Nope. Yeah,
No,
well,
this
it is
way.
technically. It is technically a way down.
Another GPS sensor. This place is massive. Is this an actual place?
Good question. Like it
It
if
has
it's
to be,
based
right? 'Cause
on
the trees are actually like real trees in the redwood forest.
well, it could just have taken the famous trees, you know, and not have actually made like a 1-to-1.
Okay, I've
But
managed to make it down to the bottom floor. Oh wait, no, here we go.
maybe there's a murder cave in Redwood National Park.
Yeah, this is some kind of murder cave. Let's put it that way. How is this not evidence we can take pictures of, by the way?
There's still blood on these.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, massive spider.
Check.
Maybe that's the one that killed all those skulls. Oh, flare gun bullet and the GPS thing.
Okay, so this was something.
Is there more? Is that
Nope,
it?
I think that's it. Wow. Amazing. No, truly.
Well, goodbye skulls.
Yep.
Good luck with all
Your
that.
eternal resting place or whatever. What's over here?
Yeah, this is what I saw. I think.
There's nothing. Literally nothing. Those could be ancient cave people. The archaeologist in me is. Okay, well. Wow. Jesus fuck! Mate!
Yeah, sorry. That was a warning shot.
Well, luckily there was only one way in, so... Pick that camera back up. Kerm's bloodlust is getting a little too strong. So true.
Oh, little camp.
That's the one we were at. So we go this way.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where we got the code.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then... Making our way downtown. And we stick to the edge.
Just keep edging.
There's a little
It'll
hook
pay
here.
off. Oh, there's meat. Catch it.
Jesus fuck! That only took 2 bullets!
Kill the fox.
Why'd you kill the fox? The foxes are cute.
There's only 1 meat on him.
Oh.
Oh,
Lad.
I think that was closer to you than it was me. Raccoon.
Oh my god, you're killing everything. What the fuck? Sorry for the coughing, holy shit. This is the old treehouse. This is cute, you'll love this. It's small, but it's adorable. Oh, there's fireworks!
No, I love it.
Oh, there's another flare gun and bullets. Come here.
I'm on my way.
And a note. I was unconscious for a while, but I'm feeling better. Don't worry, I was looking for you, Peter. I saw that Aunt Ruby was dead near the waterfall. What happened? I'm scared. So someone's dead near a waterfall. We need to keep that in mind.
Alright.
So he's gonna be coming for us full force. Oh! Oh! Scratchies! Scratchies!
Scratchies.
Oh my god. Finally! They exist!
The day has come.
We found Scratchies!
The day has
That's our
finally
only
come.
piece of
All we had
evidence.
to do was edge. We found it.
We've literally found nothing else.
We haven't even seen the guy or heard him.
We just heard him as the night took
Oh, yeah.
over.
That's true.
keeping my eyes peeled. I've lost my sprint. The pretty forest is very scary at night, I won't lie.
Bigfoot doesn't do very much damage. Like, how did all these people die?
Those people don't have our fortitude!
Ooh.
Jesus Christ! There he is.
Oh, this guy's not in costume. Wait. Oh, I missed him.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my god!
No, wait. I left-clicked the GPS thing. I should have right-clicked it.
Oh, it happens on me. Okay, so there he was.
Yep. In all his glory.
That is a lot of health.
It's like 200 more.
Yeah. Let's find the next location and see if maybe we can lure him. I have fireworks. That's like...
Yes, I think, made him run north.
He'll come back. Oh, here we go. Grove Village. Start checking all the houses.
Yep, I'll go this way. A bit of first aid. Very nice. Fireworks?
Oh? Double fireworks?
Flare
There's a
gun
gun
bullets?
save. There's another gun save.
Yep.
Oh, sorry,
Keep-
fuck.
Keeping my eyes peeled, it's okay.
I'm putting my a camera down. And I'm putting a trap down just so we're not caught off guard.
Okay,
I
there's
do have
assault
another
rifle
trap.
ammunition.
Oh, a footprint. What the fuck? Oh, fuck! Fucking good reflexes.
No, he's running! Come back! I just want to put a GPS thing on you. Oh,
got
did you
him.
throw it?
I got him!
I didn't know you could throw it.
Yeah, that's how you attach it. So if you look
Good
at the map,
throw.
I'll put up the map. Holy
Yes.
shit, that was a shot and a half.
Okay, well, let's not be distracted, okay? There's still a piece of paper somewhere that says a code.
You're so right, Bessie, you're so right.
It's focus in.
Focus in.
Dial back in.
Lock it in.
Yeah. Lean forward.
Ah, 7935.
7935. Is it this one over here?
This one. 7935, 7935. Here we go. 7935. Okay. Bro, get you that
He's coming
ATM.
back in. He's coming back in. He's coming back in.
He sure is. Okay. I'm putting the fireworks down. We can get inside
trap?
the houses. No, there he is! Oh, Jesus!
Oh, he's on fire.
I stabbed him.
Body slamming me while
I put
he's
another
on fire.
tracker on him, just so it lasts longer.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! You got the
Hey,
ATM
this
though
movie.
now.
I sure do.
Have we finished checking
Right.
all these houses?
I don't think
I
so.
think once I found that thing, we sort of like hightailed it.
Okay. Oh, he's traveling by the river. Okay, he's off the road.
Okay. This is where I found. Oh, flare gun bullet. Good.
Coming back in. He's back in. Coming back in. Oh yeah. An explosive thing down.
There's one in the trap.
I have fireworks.
I already.
Nope.
He's right there. Oh no!
Oh fuck.
Oh my god, he really absolutely destroyed me. Bro, I'm dead.
Miss him again?
I'm dead!
Oh fuck.
He actually managed to kill me.
Okay, do we have enough
Bro.
skulls?
No.
Oh, and we don't know where the fucking thing is.
No, we don't!
Okay, well,
That's that.
That-
I died
that's
at
that
the
matches,
hour.
man.
I died at the hour.
You couldn't have faked better timing.
The twitching foot is sending me. Look at it.
Wait. Oh, it's not switching from me. I'm gonna have to open the stream.
This is amazing. It was totally intentional.
Oh, yeah.
Believe me, it was not intentional whatsoever.
Coming back
Holy
into, yeah, it's
shit.
coming back towards me. I'm just gonna go get killed. Actually,
Amazing.
I just blinded me. Oh, he's running away from me. I don't want to chase him.
He'll come for you.
He's on the opposite side of the map. He's going north still.
Ah, damn. That's so
It's gonna take
unfortunate.
forever to get killed.
I
Yeah.
wish I could see the map.
Oh, he's coming back south again. Okay, I'm
He
gonna,
might be coming towards you.
yeah. I'm gonna do a last stand.
Last stand. Just bend over and wait. I will remember you. Watch him come over.
Oh,
the hill
shit.
now.
We've lost the tracker.
Was he still coming your way at least?
He was when he had the tracker, but I ripped it off.
The good news is that I can look around you. You can't look around constantly, but I can. I can 360 view you. It's funny. Where is he?
Come on, Big Pete. Oh, there he is.
He's run away because of the trap.
It's in the tree line.
Oh, nice. You still have the trap. He should be back momentarily, right?
Yeah.
I know, this is a wholesome Christian stream. How dare you?
Yeah, the only reason we're shooting at Bigfoot is because he's an abomination against God. He's wearing mixed fabrics or something.
Adding it to the list. Yeah. Mixed fabrics. What?
Is it mixed textiles? Is that like a sin? You can't mix textiles.
Maybe a fashion sin, but like...
Like one of those like really old obscure biblical sins. Like you can't wear linen and something else. I don't know what old-timey cloths are.
Yes, it's a sin apparently. You just stand still for a second, because when you move around it's really glitchy. The spectating is unkind to the camera.
I see.
Where is he? Has he actually like fucked off?
He's probably, I don't know, maybe like the behavior changes if they're like, if they've lost a substantial amount of that like health.
No, I think the only thing that's like really changed anything ever, it's like its behavior in the daytime is slightly different, but it's still chased us down in the daytime before. Where did he go?
Where'd he come from?
Where'd he come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Huh.
Well, I don't want to sit still. I'm gonna go back and loot you some more.
I think that's fair.
If you want to end the stream.
I want to see what happens now. I'm curious. How much health do you have? No health kits.
I have 6 health kits in here.
Oh my god. No,
Oh,
no
got,
healing.
got some
This is not permadeath. Bigfoot!
Big
There's a trap
feet.
on the ground there. You can take that trap.
I heard your feet aren't even that big.
Oh, snap!
I've seen bigger feet at the ballet.
You can't jump on that. Trust me.
Oh.
Trust me. You get up on it by that. And it doesn't even lead anywhere cool. Yeah.
Oh, just the way to get hurt.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna tape some bottles to my hands and have a final stand in the woods. Oh, it's a thing.
I don't know what that is.
Looks like the sort of early stages of a bonfire being built, like a real big one.
Where did he go?
He just ran off. Like, he didn't like being shot at, apparently. Like,
what?
write that. Yeah, you can write that one down.
He didn't like being shot at?
Yeah, no, possible Bigfoot cures is bullet.
Interesting.
Should be something we haven't explored over here, but I kind of just want to see Bigfoot again and fight to the death.
Oh my god. I might hit you before then.
Let me borrow your meat.
Nice.
Fuck you. Turns you into bones.
As American, I too am shocked to hear those of other cultures don't like being shot.
But my culture is shooting at you.
Yikers.
Where's the thing? Where's the path? Oh, is it the hidden thing maybe?
No. It's a hunting tower apparently.
It's fuck all up here. God, this is bored to tears. Bigfoot, kill me. I'm gonna put some lovely meat traps out for you. It's full of bear. I heard you like bears. That's why you live so close to them.
Maybe put a camera down. Just so it beeps if he's in vicinity of it.
Mm-hmm. Meat. Oh, the meat ran.
But he did screech, so maybe he's coming around.
Yeah, he didn't like when I shot at his meat friend.
I'm so curious to see how this final stand's gonna go down. Don't worry, I'm watching your back. But it's a good habit to, you know, be in. Where is this? Oh, there's rustling? There's a lot of rustling. Oh, it might have been you standing on that plant.
Ah, damn it.
I know.
I'm just,
Bear meat is full of trichinosis. Gnosis? Don't do the flare gun. Those are so valuable.
Oh yeah, no, I just had to reload it. Trichinosis, is that the worm?
What is that?
Like the parasite thing?
He's gotta know where you are. Apparently, yes.
Dude.
I hear music. The way your character looks up. So funny. Wait, here he is, here he is! He'll run off. Oh no, he won't. Nice!
No!
Oh my god! He just ran right through you and then away! Holy shit!
Oh, you ruined all my traps.
No, not all of them.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one's still usable.
He just ate the meat.
And he's close enough that he can come back.
I do not have very many bullets though.
You have multiple guns.
That's true. That part is true.
Oh, nice, nice. You can even see these from the hunting tower.
I should have put one at the stairs for it. Oh, no, that's just the meat.
Just a meat! Oh my god. Thank you for turning off that light. That's so helpful. Okay, we know he's close now. Joe Von Hoff, thank you for 53 months. Really appreciate it.
That's so many months. Holy shit.
Would a bear trap that obvious? I mean, we've walked into the bear traps ourselves a few times.
Well, that's a very broad definition of we. I did that.
I've done it before, don't worry.
Don't take credit from me.
It's happened to me before, don't worry.
Bigfoot, please. All I want is an honorable fight to the death. Oh! The icon was further away.
You've missed the other one. You can still pick the other one up.
Oh, I thought it died.
No. The only time they get destroyed is if Bigfoot fucks them up. A skull.
Let's see, oh, there should be enough skulls, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Don't know when.
I'm gonna Okay, so he's closer. Where'd you go? I missed you so. Seems like it's been forever. I wish I could see the map right now.
Bigfoot, come out. I'm headed down to the southern entry.
I remember the Mystic Stones on this map not actually being that too hard to find, crazily enough. Behind you, behind you, behind you!
Ah.
He's gonna run away. But that gives you time to, like, set stuff up if you want to.
Not doing great for bullets.
Okay.
Keep playing rifle. The big ammunition, pistol.
Behind you, there's a backpack. Have you not been checking the backpacks?
Oh, those two. No, yeah, I've just
Sorry for the coughing. Still, the cabinet. You didn't check the cabinet.
Did I not?
Look to your left. Left,
Here?
left, left.
Oh, here's one.
And right next to the door.
It.
Okay.
Oh, that's the right ammo. Right.
Fantastic. He's probably going to come back.
Okay. That's a good
He's
call.
definitely he chased you right up here. He's right there! He's right there! Hey! Godspeed, soldier. Oh no!
He is pounding the shit out of me.
Holy shit! Rest in peace.
Well,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
it's a round of applause for Bigfoot in chat.
Oh my god, look at how much damage you did to him though.
That was a big damage right there.
We did our best. And I'm proud of what we accomplished.
Well, we did just lose a best of 3 against Bigfoot, so.
That is true. But it was all about the journey, I think.
Well, the one where we killed ourselves was maybe like a draw, so.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He was probably stuck in a similar thing somewhere else.
Yeah, probably, because he was just nowhere to be seen. Absolutely nowhere. Anyways, homies, this has been me, Mousie, and my friend Kerm. You can find me over at twitch.tv/Mousie. The link in the chat. And, yeah, I won't be back on Yogs for Saturday Spookums next Saturday because there's an event on the Yogscast channel going on. And it happens during when I would normally be doing Saturday Spookums. So I do hope you still tune in for that. You probably will. It's going to be epic. But yeah, I hope to see you around on my own neck of the woods. But yeah, let's see where to send you off to. Who of the Yogs cast is alive? My... Scrolly. Ooh. Zoe is doing some Final Fantasy. Okay. Let's send you over to Zoe.
Yeah. I shouldn't have tried to.
Did I do it? I did it. Okay. Have a great night,
It's
everyone.
done.
I hope to see you around. Bye-bye. Have fun.
Bye.
Yeah, I got there before you, Night Char. Mwah.